Good afternoon, students. Today I will be discuss here the two-stroke cycle engine. That is very important topic, and many question are arises from this topic in competitive exams. It's it's called a two-stroke engine because there is a compression stroke and then a combustion stroke. In a four-stroke engine, there are separate intake compression, combustion, and exhaust strokes. Two-stroke cycle engine mix special two-stroke oil in with the gasoline. The mix oil in with the gas to lubricate the crankshaft, connecting rod and cylinder walls. Note, if you forget to mix in the oil, the engine isn't going to the last very long. Advantages: the two-stroke engines do not have the valves, which simplifies their construction and lower their weight. The two-stroke engines fire once every revolution, while the four-stroke engine fire once every other revolution. This gives the two-stroke engine a significant power boost. The two-stroke engines can work in any orientation, which can be important in something like a chainsaw. A standard four-stroke engine may have problems with the oil flow unless it is upright end. This advantage make the two-stroke engines lighter, simpler, and less expensive to manufacture. The two-stroke engines also have a potential to pack about twice the power into the same space because there are twice as many power strokes per revolution. Basic components of the two-stroke engines are in this figure and their relative positions. Now disadvantages: the two-stroke engines don't last nearly as long as the four-stroke engines. The lack of dedicating lubrication system means that the parts of a two-stroke engines wear a lot faster. The two-stroke oil is expensive and you need about the 4 ounce of it per gallon of gas. You would burn about a 3.7 liter of oil every 1600 kilometer if you used a two-stroke engine in a car. The two-stroke engines are not fuel efficient, so you would get fewer miles per gallon. The two-stroke engines produce a lot of pollution from the combustion of the oil. Each time a new charge of air fuel is loaded into the combustion chamber, part of it leaks out through the exhaust port. Exhaust, the fuel and air in the cylinder have many compressed, and when the spark plug fires, the mixture ignites. The resulting explosion drives the piston downwards. Note that as the piston moves downward, it is compressing the air fuel mixture in the crankcase. As the piston approaches the bottom of its stroke, the exhaust port is uncovered. The pressure in the cylinder drives most of the exhaust gases out of the cylinder, as shown in exhaust. As the piston finally bottom out, the intake port is uncovered. The piston movement has pressurized the mixture in the crankcase, so it rushes into the cylinder, displaying the remaining exhaust gases and filling the cylinder with a fresh charge of fuel, as shown in here. Intake. Note that In many two-stroke engines that use a cross-flow design, the piston is shaped so that the incoming fuel mixture doesn't simply flow right over the top of the piston and out the exhaust port. Intake fuel intake position of two-stroke engine. Compression stroke. Now the momentum in the crankshaft starts driving the piston back forward the spark plug for the compression stroke. As the air fuel mixture in the piston is compressed, a vacuum is created in the crankcase. This vacuum opens the reed valve and suck air fuel oil in the form of in the form of carburetor. Re- reed valves are a type of check valve which restricted the flow of fluids of a single direction, opening and closing under the changing pressure on each ways. Piston function. On one side of the piston in the combustion chamber, where the piston is compressing the air fuel mixture and capturing the energy released by ignition of the fuel. On the other side of the piston, the crankcase, where the piston is creating a vacuum to suck in air fuel from the carburetor through the reed valve and then pressurizing the crankcase so that the air fuel forced into the combustion chamber. Meanwhile, the sides of the piston are acting like walls, covering and uncovering the intake and exhaust port parts drilled into the sides of the cylinder walls. Okay, thank you. आई होप सो आपको ये वीडियो पसंद आया होगा. थैंक्स.